course, everybody here probably is aware of playing Angry Birds. You get obsessed with it. I've got mine here, trying to get the birds going here. I've got my iPad here. A lot of people travel with this. They go around, they are playing Angry Birds. It's an obsession that many people have on their iPads and mobile devices. We've got Jamin Warren here to tell us about a new endeavor that Angry Birds is taking on, which many people may be excited about. Welcome, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
It's great. So a theme park, I mean, I guess we've seen Disney theme parks, Harry Potter theme parks. It's just a natural extension that we'd have a Angry Birds theme park, right?
Absolutely. That's a big challenge for video game companies, is how do you translate a property to folks who don't play video games. Fortunately for Angry Birds, with more than 700 million downloads, there are a few people who haven't touched the property at some point in time. It's interesting for Rovio because they're trying to make a move towards other non-game type things, and they look at a company like Disney and they recognize, you know, the CEO has said there's more money in toys than there is in video games, and so doing an amusement park makes a lot of sense for them.
Now this park is going to be in Finland,
yes.
Is that correct?
It'll be in a town called Tallinn, which is in the southern part of Finland. It's one of the largest cities in the Nordic region.
Why there as opposed to anywhere else in the world?
Well, Rovio is a Finnish company, so it makes a lot of sense that they would want to open something in their backyard. Last September, there was actually a Chinese Angry Birds amusement park that opened up, which was did not have Rovio's blessing. So it's nice to see that they're doing it above the board, working with Rovio to make that happen.
And I imagine this is going to be quite an interactive theme park. What do we know about what will be there? What types of games and rides and
Absolutely.
themes will be there?
One thing to remember is that it's not just an Angry Birds theme park. It's part of one of the larger amusement parks in that region. It'll be a section devoted entirely to Angry Birds. So
sort of like Harry Potter at Universal Studios.
Exactly.
Model.
So they haven't released too much information about it, but one thing we do know is that there will be a large interactive display where you can actually throw the birds at the pigs. So it's a nice way to kind of do that in real life.
How has the momentum been for Angry Birds? Has it held up? Has it increased? Is there starting to show signs of aging in any bit?
Well, I think one of the smart things that Rovio did was look for partners. So last year they partnered with the film Rio, and they did an Angry Birds Rio. So you might see more versions of that, similar to like how Hello Kitty, for example, will partner with different organizations or whatever. It's all under the Hello Kitty umbrella, but it's always different. And that's what Angry Birds is doing, and I think that's a great way for them to sustain.
Here we can see Angry Birds Rio
Absolutely,
right here on the screen here, if you've got it. We were playing here a little earlier.
I think one of the long-term challenges will be, for them, how will they continue to create Angry Birds video game experiences that are somehow different, while still letting consumers feel like they're getting a different product day in, day out.
And is there any thought to maybe possibly changing the free model that they have for Angry Birds?
Well, they kind of reached a threshold. You know, for a lot of developers, they have different strategies in terms of trying to get more people to play those games. And so what Angry Birds has basically figured out, Rovio's figured out, is that Angry Birds can serve as a loss leader for other types of experiences. So with the Rio game, for example, that was a piece of marketing. They were paid up front for it, so they were able to release the game for free. And they're looking at it and they're saying, all right, that might be a better model for us. Let's keep things free so as many people on the planet can experience Angry Birds, and then we can figure out other ways to make them money, such as the amusement parks.
Yeah, so we've got, I'm playing here, I'm going to see what score I can get up to. Fine. Is there any plan to expand outside of Finland? You know, George was just saying, I mean, it's obviously great to maybe drive some tourists to Finland who haven't been there before, but any plans to expand elsewhere, maybe outside?
There's nothing announced, but I can imagine Angry Birds is looking at the United States, where the property is very large, and looking for other ways that they can interact with the public. So I think if it goes well in Finland, I wouldn't be surprised to see something like this open up in the States as well. They're also looking at film, television. They're looking at other non-digital properties, other things that they can kind of put Angry Birds on.
Which one is your favorite bird?
Which one? I like
the blue one.
The banana bird is the one. Okay. The one that kind of like swings around, requires like a little bit of finesse.
Yeah,
that one. There's like a big red. It's like the big red one. There's a small red bird, and then there's the enormous one.
Right.
I like that one too.
And is Rovio coming out anything in the works that could be sort of a rival to, not rival, but coming out with the success of Angry Birds, that they're going to launch something new?
That's a really good point. So Rovio, most people don't know this, but Angry Birds was I believe their 47th or 48th game. So they had been a decently successful Finnish mobile publisher, and then they had stumbled on Angry Birds. So right now they've kind of put all of their eggs in one basket, so to speak. Google has
pig's eggs in one basket.
Exactly. Google has search, and Rovio has Angry Birds.
All right, great stuff. Well, thank you so much, Jamin Warren, for joining us from Kill Screen Daily. We appreciate it.